to begin scheduling your contest, you go to Solo Manager, you go down to Schedule Contest, and the first thing you have to do before you can do anything else is assign your judges. And it's as simple as pressing a button for each category, and it goes and finds your flute judges, assigns the events that are for flutes, and then you return and do that same process for each one of these buttons. And I must add that if you don't have all your judges selected, I would make up a fake judge, meaning like maybe saxophone judge 1, and use that one, and then go back in later and put whoever it is, edit it, put their name in there. Because if you assign these and then add another judge to those, they're already assigned, and so you'll have to start over on that particular instrument to get them for the computer to assign some, or move some manually from your the moving feature that's going to be added within the next week. Stage band, jazz band, should be 2 of them. Yes. So you go through there and do that for, oh, I just did that. See, it won't make any difference that I did it again, because it's only going to do it the one time. And if you, for some reason, you don't have a judge assigned to a certain category, it's going to throw an error and tell you you don't have any judges for this. And you'll want to add one. Best thing to do is to go back and make sure you've got all the 13 areas that are listed here covered as far as a judge to judge them, so that if there is one there that maybe you didn't know you had, it will cover it. Okay, one more. We've got a lab choir to do, and it tells me that there are no judges assigned in this area, although I think we do have one. I'm not sure why it's throwing that error right now. It's not telling me what I think it should do. Okay, now we've done that. Now we're going to go to the assigned times. Oops, I don't know if I got it or not. Sorry about that. Schedule contest, assigned times. And it lists all your judges from right here. And for each one of these judges, you need to click the Set Times button. We can go and look at a master schedule by clicking the View Master Schedule, and that one will look for all your events, all your judges, then those events that are assigned to those judges, and list them for you, so you can scroll across the page and look. Now, pay no attention to what these times say. Those are calculations. They may all say the same thing, and that's not a problem. Once we enter a number in each one of these entry numbers, it will go through and calculate those times, and those numbers will change, and we'll show you that here in just a second. So you look across here, and you can tell you how many your judges are assigned. And I, of course, have way too many for some, but for demonstration purposes, we did that. And we're going to return to the scheduling page, and we're going to set times for Jane Montgomery in Chip's room. So there's her room, and they're not really sorted in any certain order. In fact, they're going to be sorted by the entry numbers here. So we click, notice there's 54 events. We're going to click Set Times, and it's going to go through and number all of these from 1 to 54. And it says here, determine where you want lunch to start after, the event you want it to start after. So if you go through here and look, we usually start lunch around 12. Alright, so we're going to start at event number 51. Click Add Lunch. Now it says I have 55 events. If we go down here, you'll notice that lunch started 5 minutes after this, or right after this ensemble. And it put a lunch hour in there, and then it goes to 5:01. Most of those numbers are going to be in the 40 range. Just depends upon the deal. So now we have that judge scheduled, and we can go back to that, and we can adjust the time. Let me show you how that works. You go into this, and you will see all those numbers, and the only thing you can edit is let's move the lunch hour and say we need to move the lunch hour to 11:40. So we're going to put, what is that number? We're going to swap numbers here. We're going to put that one as 47.5, and I just make it easy on myself by using the 0.5. 47.5, and so then that one would become that's fine. We do that and we save those changes, and notice it has moved our lunch hour up in here, but the times aren't right. Remember I said we have to recalculate them, so I use the recalculate button, and it's going to go through and recalculate my times. And now let's see if it did that. It moved that lunch to 47.5, and sure enough, lunch starts there, and the next event starts an hour after that because our lunch default's set at 45. So that's how you would go about adjusting the schedule, and you can move instruments around. I don't want these instruments to play in the morning, I want them to play in the afternoon, and you can easily adjust and do it that way by using the adjustment. You can always take a look at one judge's events by going through here and looking at the schedule for that. And let's go back and show you one other feature. Notice that we have a special start time of 8. For her, let's change it to 9:30. So we go in here to the special start time, and we make it 9.50 because that's halfway across the hour. Oop, that's 5.50. Make it 9.50, and we'll save changes. And that saved our changes, and now we'll go to go back to the scheduled contest and assign times. Getting lazy with my trackpad. Assign times, and now let's go and view it, because actually it'll recalculate it for us. Notice that now we start at 9:30, and it did all the calculations for us automatically by just changing the time, and moved everything up according to that schedule. Okay, so that is how you quickly schedule them. And again, eventually we'll get it if you want to add a break in there for them. Most of the time DNAs will take care of breaks, but you watch this. When it turns blue, then you can add a break to it. And then if you need to move students, there'll be a move button here that you click on for that judge, and then you can go pick a student or an entry and say I need to move it to another judge, like say Ted Hartley's room, and you could click on that, and you'd have the option of changing what room it's in, and it changes all the necessary information and moves that student to that room. That feature will be coming in a week or so, but that's how you get started in scheduling your contest.